This time around, she is shocked as Black Americans call them out. She and our Somalis folks. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Ilhan Omar. Yeah, let's delve into it. Remember, if you're coming across our video for the first time, don't forget to watch it to the end so you get the real gist.
But the movement is transformed from them and then to us and now. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. This is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity. Keep hope alive! 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 Keep hope alive!
You know, I had a hard time just watching that clip. It just feels very disrespectful, and it feels intentionally disrespectful, especially with the climate of everything that's going on between people saying that Black Americans should be in solidarity with immigrants, and then them going down to Selma where our ancestors marched due to persecution. Them trying to marching on that same bridge, to me feels intentionally disrespectful, regardless of how they try to flip it and make it seem like, oh, well, we're standing in solidarity and in honor of the civil rights movement, as if their struggles were our ancestors, our grandmothers and great-grandmothers' struggles. Their struggles are not our people's struggles. So it's not even close to the same thing. I can't give y'all my unfiltered opinion on TikTok on this subject, so I'm gonna do another video and I'm gonna upload it probably tomorrow to YouTube, where I can actually say what I really want to say about this, because I can't say it without getting some type of flag or strike. But my thing is, what exactly inequalities are you fighting against? Because you don't want to be investigated for fraud, because you don't want to be investigated for entering the country illegally without doing, you're fighting against having to file paperwork, immigration paperwork. Like, what exactly are you fighting for? Like, our ancestors went through absolute hell, and that's why they marched. What, like, to make it seem like it's the same thing, it's like a slap in the face. And I feel like they're doing that shit on purpose. I really do. My great grandmother was born in 1914 in Texas. She was right around my age, maybe a little older. She got into a car accident. Her face was disfigured. She could not, the only hospitals around were white only. She almost died because they had to try to find a Negro hospital because nobody would take her. Face disfigured. She had permanent scarring on her face. Face was messed up in a car accident. They would not save her life. That's the type of shit that our people were dealing with in this country. So to make it seem like your immigrant problems are the same and worth the same type of protest that ours were is completely nonsense. And for any Black American person, I don't know if there was any out there that egged them on to do that or supported them in that. It's just as bad, if not worse.
What's up, America? The newly recognized territory of Somaliland is calling for Ilhan Omar to be extradited. So the nation of Somalia is broken up into many different factions, but the established territory of Somaliland, which aims to be the new government of Somalia, is now calling for Representative Ilhan Omar to be extradited to face trial for immigration fraud, but not for her own immigration, which she came over here as a refugee when she was 5 or 6. Now, Somaliland claims that she needs to be extradited because she used marriages to get people over here when they shouldn't have been over here in the first place, circumventing Somalian law as well as American law. Now, that's according to the territory of Somaliland. Obviously, the Republicans and Donald Trump would be more than happy to entertain them. Now, Ilhan Omar spoke at the No Kings rally, and upon hearing this, she says it's baseless claims. But J.D. Vance thinks something else, and J.D. Vance is calling for an investigation into Ilhan Omar's immigration and anybody she helped get into the country.
Transformed from them and then to us and now. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. This is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity. Keep hope alive! 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 He up alive. He up alive. Ven, se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente.
See, I wasn't going to touch on the whole Somali DNC Selma Roos, but it just wasn't sitting right with my spirit. I mean, besides the fact that these people didn't know what the hell was going on, nor why they were doing it. I mean, just look at these confused faces on these people. Besides all that, the DNC got some damn gall, some audacity to desecrate on Black American legacy, the audacity to claim that our legacy is the past, and their desperate attempt at replacing us with mass immigration is the present. Y'all have been trying to replace God's favorites for well over a century, and now there's 50 million or more of us. From the blood and bones in this soil to every law that's been created, we are this country. You can't replace us. What the hell are you fake protesting for exactly? ICE deportations? And trying to compare that to everything we've been through? Well, it's failing. They know it's failing. They know that civil rights era docile blacks vote that they had a stranglehold on is over. The delineation movement cooked everything they have going, and that cannot be overstated nor denied. This is a desperate attempt at concocting a new era to mimic civil rights, just like the small hats did. But the issue is that you can't do that without the soul people, the original people of this land, the foundation, the warrior class, the only people who've always fought YTs consistently for centuries. You playing these games with a bunch of people who fled their homelands and their fight at home to be a part of your system. We've never fled and always opposed your system. You see how that works? That's why all your manufactured pivoting has fallen on deaf ears. Nobody believes you. Nobody believes these people. Because you ain't fighting for nothing. You ain't got nothing to fight for in this country. You just climbing on our backs, hijacking our legacy with no leg to stand on, while trying to erase us all at the same time, as if we don't have the loudest voice and the biggest bite in the room. You can't make the impossible possible, but we can. You in a spiritual WAR with my ancestors now. May the best man win, and it won't be.
Tensions are rising as voices across communities speak out, and Ilhan Omar is now part of a growing national conversation. Strong opinions, direct responses, and a debate that's quickly gaining attention online. Welcome. This is where we sports for real talk and keep it real with no distractions. This video is for commentary, analysis, and educational purposes only. So, what's being said and why is this discussion picking up so much momentum right now? Let's break it down. Original credit to creators whose video will be used for illustration and example.
These Somalians out of Minnesota, they flew into Alabama and went to Selma, and they're starting to protest.
But the movement has transformed from then and then to us and now. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights.
So Selma was during the Civil Rights era. Black Americans fought for the right to vote and have a say in the politics that shaped their lives. We even risked our lives during that peaceful march. They were brutally attacked. We were brutally attacked by police forces in what has become known as Bloody Sunday. I find it interesting how, they love pulling out these old correlations, these old rhetorics of everybody being one when it's beneficial for them, right? But when it's a regular day, you don't see this type of energy. When it was the Somalians pulling scams in Minnesota, $8 billion scams, that was only for the Somalians. They didn't spread none of that wealth when they got that scamming operation. They didn't put nobody on. Not saying I wanted that money or Black Americans, we want anything to do with it. But at the same time, you did that purely for you, for yourself. Where was the rainbow correlation in that? Where was the unity rainbow push correlation in that? Where was the unity let's build our communities all together? Where was that? Instead, you build your own little Somali town in Minnesota. You hire your own. You don't share no business with nobody else, and you're pulling fraud. Right. When I go inside a Mexican restaurant, I don't see Black American workers. And not saying that we should work in those areas or industries. Not saying y'all should work in a taco restaurant, Chinese restaurant. You don't see no Black Americans working in no Chinese restaurant. Right. Where's the correlation in? We have Asia Town, Chinatown. I'm just not understanding where's the rainbow push correlation when it's time to spread wealth amongst Black Americans. It's nowhere to be found. But as soon as these groups of people run into a problem like immigration laws and policies, now they're going to our historical marching grounds using our rhetorics of unity when they don't practice, these immigrants, they don't come into this country and practice no unity with Black Americans.
Conversations like this can be heated, but they also highlight deeper issues that deserve attention. So you've seen the videos, you've heard from every other creators from their experience and what they think about this. Share your thoughts below, keep it respectful, like, subscribe, and stay informed. And I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Turn your notification button on.